If I was just starting out in videography for the first time, then fitness content is a great niche to get into. As a professional videographer and content creator on Instagram, I find a lot of joy in creating the best pieces of my work from fitness. Fitness is a big niche in the content creation industry, so creating videos to add to your highlight reel or professional portfolio is going to be rewarding. I like that there's a lot of energy that you can express through your work, and the subject is always moving. In this video, I'm going to be giving you tips and practical advice on creating fitness content. Lighting. So when it comes to fitness content, we always want to emphasize top-down lighting. The reason why overhead or top-down lighting is preferred is because we want to show the shadows in the muscular cuts and show how toned the body looks. This is why gym selfies look so good, is because people know the secret of the top-down lighting. Composition. The next thing that I want to talk about is composition. So in composition, you want to use elements like foreground, leading lines, or frame within a frame to give your shot more depth. For angles, I like to keep things simple and conventional before I get creative. So what I mean by that is normally I would have a hero shot, which is from a lower angle as a staple, and then maybe a 45-degree angle on the side, capturing something different. It's also good to vary the focal lengths so that hero shot could be more wide and a 45-degree angle could be tighter like a 50mm. So in fitness content, it's always important to nail your camera settings. I like to shoot at 24 frames per second in real time or 60 frames per second if I plan to slow it down in post-production. It's important to be intentional about this because you don't want to shoot everything in 60 frames per second, but also you want to have the option to slow your footage down if you think there's a cool action shot. For shutter speed, I like to follow the 180-degree shutter angle rule, which is doubling the shutter speed to that of your frame rate. So for example, if you have a frame rate that's 24 frames per second, then you want to shoot a shutter speed at 1/50. If you have a video that's 60 frames per second, then you want your shutter speed to be 1/125. This gives your video natural motion blur and makes it look more cinematic. So the next thing is, should you shoot autofocus or manual focus? Typically, what I like to do is shoot in manual focus as that gives me the most control. Whenever I shoot in autofocus, I have to really rely on the camera's autofocus system. And sometimes it phases in and out of the subject, which can be frustrating. But if you go manual focus, then it's a lot more predictable for you. I would go autofocus if you know it's a movement that you can accurately predict. One tip that I have with filming fitness content is that you're not going to have unlimited takes with the athlete or model because they're eventually going to get tired. So what I like to do is practice the shots without the resistance or weights first, just to get the movement down and choreographed. And then once the camera starts rolling, then we can do the actual working sets. Another tip that I have with filming fitness content is the camera movement. So of course, because fitness is a lot of movement, you want to showcase energy. So handheld is going to be your best bet. I like to use handheld because it gives the look and feel of the shot a sense of urgency and a lot of energy. Handheld is a lot more effective than having the camera on a tripod or even a gimbal because those shots tend to feel more neutral and more professional. And I'm not saying that fitness content is amateur, but in terms of the movement, having that little bit of a shakiness can just add more energy and more intensity. So keeping these things in mind when filming fitness content is going to help you out a lot in your next shoot. It's going to be really fun once you get the feel of it and you nail down the movements with your model or your athlete or actor. Just making sure that you have the right lighting down, know how to compose your shot very well, and that you nail down your settings is going to lead you to have a very successful shoot. So if you found a lot of value from watching this video, then please be sure to give this video a like, as well as comment down some questions or any feedback that you have. I would love to answer them, and I want to make sure that I provide the value in my next couple of videos. So that means subscribe to my channel and stay up to date with the notifications. As always, I will see you guys in the next video, and I will be unlocking more secrets in the future.